Good morning and welcome to another episode of preparation for the ice, whatever it's actually called in this series. You're joining me at 5:26 a.m. Saturday morning, and I'm currently awake making my way over to Lulworth. Now, I want to go on record as saying I haven't electively chosen to be like, let's do it really early and be part of the 5 a.m. club. I'm doing it with a couple of other blokes who are tremendously packed out this weekend, and it was literally the only time that we could shoehorn it into the weekend's itinerary. So heading over to get stepped off at 6 a.m. and for my sins, and because we're now 3 weeks from the race, I'm going to be doing a little bit more than them. So we're going to go out and back in, racking up about 10 miles. They're going to depart and go off to take kids to football and go to football matches themselves as well. And then I'm going to turn around, go back out and back in again. So accumulate about 32 kilometres a day over what is a very, very arduous course. So lots of ups and downs today. Following on from that, I'll then go home, nourish, recover, and tomorrow, there's no way of saying this that sounds cool, I am going to be stomping up and down Bournemouth Beach in fucking snowshoes. Owing to the specificity of the ice ultra, the snowshoes have finally arrived, so it's really important for us to get a look at those in terms of how they feel, how my body moves whilst I'm utilising them, and make any final changes that we need to make to strengthen the conditioning, to just fortify it and bolster up my movement. Because for those of you unfamiliar with snowshoeing, you can't really move at the ankles, so you have to kind of hip flex or kind of like knees to chest basically constantly, and that might cause some aggravation, some irritation around the hip flexors. We don't know. So it will be about 3.5 to 4 hours today, and then we'll recover, and then we'll go and do about 3 hours of fartlek on some deep soft sand tomorrow. And to be honest, I'm tremendously grateful for the fact that we have the beach so close. It's an incredible asset that's going to allow me to actually do something like a trial run and see how we go. So I'll do my utmost to get some footage today on the hill. Obviously, sorry, I nearly took the wrong turning then. It's alright, it's okay, back in. I panicked for a moment and thought I'd taken the wrong turn, and 5:30 in the morning, when you're on a tight deadline, is not the time to be making wrong turns, but we're all good. So as I was saying, I'll do my utmost to get some footage today on the hill. Like I said, everyone's probably a little bit bleary-eyed. We had a really big day yesterday. So again, yesterday was a 5 a.m. start to get us down to London, to the Altitude Centre, the incredible facilities they've got there. Speaking with James, who's the performance lead and runs all the testing there. And we tested the 4-man team that's going on to the challenge, but specifically myself and Ben, who is the head of performance at Uncharted. We are there as sort of wraparound consultants, specifically for Stas, just to ensure that we can advocate for his needs, both from an injury standpoint, and also give him confidence and really push his performance in those testing batteries to make sure he gave a really good account of himself, which was only cursory. He is a tremendous athlete, and the top 2 inches is everywhere it needs to be, as I'm sure you can imagine. So we're just waiting out on the results from one final test, but to put it into context, Stas scored 64.7 on the VO2 max. So if you're not sure what your VO2 max is and you wear a Garmin, go into the functions and features and it will show you a VO2 max score. Most people will be between probably 45 and maybe 55 if you're really, really good. We've been training Stas for a little while now. He's been very, very diligent, very, very consistent. So we were very, very happy to see a 64.7 score on his testing battery. Now, the reason the VO2 max is so important for him, based on the challenge that's got lined up, and we can't say too much about it just yet, as he gains altitude and elevation, he will lose roughly 6% of his VO2 max per 1,000 meters. So we need to make sure that number is as high as possibly practicable, so his body can utilize as much oxygen, even when it begins to get up high. So yeah, really, really cool. I'm really looking forward to talking more about that. But for today, for this morning, let's keep eyes on the prize, get ourselves over to Lulworth, get 32 kilometers done. And as I said, I'll do my utmost to capture some content before then, being somewhat of a local idiot tomorrow, stomping up and down the beach. So I'm just setting out on the second leg of today. Behind me is what you can see as Turtle Door. Nala, this way. One of the questions I get asked so frequently, believe it or not, is why did I move from Manchester to the south coast? I haven't figured it out yet. There's simply no place like it on earth, and Cameron never does it justice, as hard as we might try. So as I said, out on the second leg, just over 2 hours in. It's about 30 or so minutes after sunup. We've got about another 15 or so, maybe a little bit more K to go. Feeling good. This is the first session I've done here where I haven't deliberately pre-fatigued the legs, owing to the fact I'm going again tomorrow. So legs feel very strong. Hydration strategy is going well, albeit it is harder to want to and to remember to drink when it is cold. It's about 2 degrees Celsius right now, which is, I'm not sure what that equates to in freedom units. It's about 2 degrees, so just making sure we're staying on top of hydration. Feeding strategy is going very well. Everything is pretty unremarkable at the moment. Just getting it done, built in the boring. Me again. So about 45 minutes into snowshoeing. One thing I will say is it's remarkably difficult. Even just kind of cruising speed now, sort of high 140s, settling in. Second again, 2 hours. So that is me back in the wagon. What you can't see is I've literally got my base layer still on and my undershorts, and that is it. The weather is fucking stinky. That's up there with one of the worst sessions I've ever done. Like mid 150 ppm, like 9.5 minute Ks, pissing down sideways, blowing a hoodie. My hands are fucking, well, you can see, like, yeah, my hands are fucking Baltic. The wind, every morsel of kit I own is absolutely plastered in sand. Not just like fine sand, like wet, sticky, claggy sand. Tried to get off the beach, fucking fingers are failing because of the cold. The sand had all ingressed into the clips on the snowshoe. Couldn't get those cunts off. Fucking hell, they are absolute dog shit. I mean, it's like, it's the best that you've got in terms of a racing snowshoe, but the build quality is fucking, how the fucking French company that makes them have the audacity to charge 200 quid for them. It's fucking wild. They are absolute shite. Like, and it's not often I speak so condemningly of kit, but they are truly fucking shit. Probably made for about 5 quid, if that. They fucking had all sorts of issues with them, but we managed to get them to operate, to do their job. So all my kit is just thrown in the back. Because the wind is swirling going to the location, you can probably see or hear it rocking the van. As soon as I open the van door, the fucking water and sand come flying in. So I've just ditched all my kit into wet bags. And that's that's a later job. That's get home, get warm back up, regain the use of my hands, and then probably a good couple of hours of admin. So despite all that, me pissing and moaning like a little bitch for the past 90, 100 seconds, it was a very productive training session. What I mean by that is, oftentimes people on extreme multi-stage ultras struggle because they're used to pounding tarmac at a good pace and hitting 4.5 minute Ks for fucking however long. And then you put them outside their comfort zone in these frustrating sessions where kit fails, you're cold, you're wet, you're miserable, you can't be fucking arsed. And they just wrap. Mentally, they just check out and they find it really difficult. So mentally, very, very good session to challenge and stress the system. Obviously, it's following on the back from a pretty arduous session yesterday, and the legs quite literally felt indefatigable. Like, I was just stomping. Like, it's quite stomping. Listened to a bit of ABBA, a little bit of Celine Dion came on at some points as well. Yeah, and I was just stomping. Legs were genuinely indefatigable. Picked it up to a run on multiple occasions. I was just making sure the heart rate stayed within sort of top end zone 2, bottom end zone 3. You know, going trashing the cardiovascular system before another training week starting tomorrow. But yeah, wildly productive training session. So despite the negativity, despite how much I fucking hate those snowshoes, and the fact all my kit is now requiring some serious admin, it was hugely net positive, and largely a net positive weekend. You know, big confidence booster, big confidence builder. You've got to be very careful not to get complacent. You still got to be studious and diligent and remain humble on these races, because when you get there, the weather's always different to what you anticipate. The kit can fail, as we've seen, and you have to just adapt very, very quickly. And what stops people being able to do that is an inability to respond to the situation and just trying to stick to what they know, and it was going to do this, and this is my strategy, so I'm going to adhere to it. And that's why ultra marathon and ultra endurance is so perfectly aligned with business and just life and high performance in general, because it's not what you don't know that holds you back, it's your reluctance to let go of what you think you know. And unless you can answer the question, how do you know what you know, then ultimately what you know is probably bollocks. It's probably anecdotal or a belief set, versus like, what am I actually seeing? Is what I'm doing effective here and appropriate? If not, okay, I need to adapt, I need to respond very, very quickly to that and find something. So again, today was case in point, a perfect example of that. So I think this video has probably been as long as you want to listen to, but of course, any questions, any curiosities, any feedback at all, even if it's just to tell me to stop being a bitch for moaning so much about fucking shit French kit, then please comment down below. But it's been a great training weekend, like I said, off home to warm up, get some food in, plan for the week ahead. Well, it's already planned, but just kind of cross the T's, dot the I's, and we go into another week on attack mode. See you then.